Hello, welcome to this session of the alpha test for Dungeon World 2. This is run through the Open Hearth gaming community. I am Anders. I use the he, him pronouns, and I am here with three delightful players. And I will let you introduce yourselves and your characters in the order of the character keeper. So we're starting with Rich.
Uh, I'm sorry, you said delightful players. I thought you were going to call on other people, and I was just here to observe. Hello, I'm Rich. I use he, him pronouns. I am playing an orc fighter named Zogpuck, who also uses the he, him pronouns. And he's a fighter, but an act of life or violence has broke something in him, and he has to find a path to start healing. Just about the most indie gamer version of a fighter fucking ever.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so next is Teast.
Hey, Feast, he, they. I'm going to be playing Felix, he, him, who is a catkin and a should be a master cat burglar, but unfortunately has proven to be a bit of a disappointment to his family. So is trying desperately to find, the missing jewels of the family to so that he can restore his place within the family. But right now, he might think that he's a wonderful swords person and thief, but actually he's not so great.
Cool, cool. And finally, Mark.
Hi, I'm Mark. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing Barina Orthist, she, her pronouns, the wizard. And Barina comes from a high achieving family of scholars. She is trying to live up to the family name. She's constantly under pressure to make sure that she is advancing her career and continuing to research the things that she's been researching, which includes a species of sentient tree. And I actually haven't chosen her school of magic yet. So I'll see what I end up doing there. But
Cool. I should mention that I have not read through your playbooks. I've skimmed a couple of them at some point, but I don't know the details of how your characters work, so you will have to tell me. Uh, but that's usually fine. This is kind of a playtest. We're doing a one shot. None of us have played the game before. Some of us have played the first version of Dungeon World, but this one is quite different. So I'm not sure how much that knowledge will translate. Um, I'm and we're playing the Stolen Children scenario. Um, I think we'll mostly do like the adventure and character moves. My personal goal is mostly to see those in play and see how those work. We may end up doing some group stuff. I'm not going to focus on the group playbook. There are some ways to advance that. I don't think we will get enough advancement there for it to matter. I think mostly you get advancement at the end of the session there anyway. Um, but maybe we'll get into the burdens, which are like playbook or group playbook conditions, kind of. So we'll see. I'm not going to focus on experience either and leveling up, but if you get 6 minus and just suffer the consequences, you can mark an XP, and if you get to 5 XP that way, then that's fine. You get an advance. Hooray for you if you're still alive. We'll see. Yeah, I think that's about it for that. Um, we should do bonds. I'm going to start with Mark now. So you have some bonds for your character.
excellent, thank you. Yes, bonds are on the character sheet under the section under the yeah, there it is. As if I'm explaining where they are and not just casting about for them. Wizard bonds. You start with one bond centered around another player. It may be a belief, goal, or even past events involving them. And so this is wide open, or are there drop downs here?
There is a
There are drop
drop down
downs.
there for
Okay.
the bond itself.
Let's see. This is going to be, let's see what these beautiful bonds are. Latent magical, still trying to make up for when I hit them. Share a niche interest. Um, I'm going to take one rather than write my own. I'm going to try to make up for a time when I hit uh Zog with a Haywire spell. I'm so sorry, Zog. It was unintentional. Your hair grew back, and so I think
Take a
that's
look
the
at the
important
character
thing.
picture. In actuality, it
It's
did not.
not.
So the hair has not come back.
Oh, damn. I'm sorry the hair won't grow back. Um, I thought I was protecting you. It turns out I was just making your hair go away. That's okay.
Protecting me from dandruff.
Okay, cool.
Cool. So you have, yeah, you start with one bond. Teased. You also start with one bond.
Yeah. So I'm wondering who it is that I once committed a major crime alongside. I don't think Zog makes more sense, but maybe Barina is more interesting.
It feels like Zog. Yeah.
Yeah,
Welcome to Everybody Loves Zog.
it's true. Everyone loves me.
Everyone loves you. How major was this crime? Because to be honest, I haven't really done much in the sort of major crime department. I've tried, but
Hmm. Was I? Did we hold somebody up? Were we highwaymen briefly?
maybe it was accidentally a major crime. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, like we pickpocketed someone, like some, aristocracy, and we accidentally stole like the key to the treasury vault or something. And it's like, oh no, what are we going to do with this? And shenanigans.
That sounds great.
Yeah. Nice. Cool. So Zog also has starts with one bond.
I do. So, don't think a fierce rivalry with either of you two louts makes sense. I don't think being in love with either of you for a one shot feels like it makes sense. So then one of the two of you needs to know better how to defend yourselves, and I'll make sure that they learn. And I think that is going to be our fine wizard, Barina. Doesn't know how to defend herself nor cast spells. So I will not help you with the magic part. You're on your own. But I will teach you how to defend yourself when you're out of spells.
Cool. So you are uh, have worked together for some time, and you are kind of a professional adventurers, because that's what the setup of the scenario kind of requires. Um, so this mic thing is not very good. Sorry. And you've been recruited, hired by the people of the town of Glen Carr. I can put the name in the chat because people from there have gone missing. They've been abducted by alien creatures seemingly made of briar and thorns with almond-shaped eyes of a single hue. Um, Sounds strange. They have scraped together a bit of money. It's not a huge reward, but it is at least it is a reward, um, and that's why you've arrived here. Um, so yeah, I'm going by the scenario here because that's how I choose to do this. why did you decide to help the locals even though they don't have really much to offer?
Is this for everyone?
Yeah, this is for the group. Sorry. Yeah.
Um, I think that Barina has heard stories that the sentient tree, that species that she's looking for, exists in this area, and so she's hoping that she'll encounter it during the course of this
So
adventure.
did Barina convince the rest of you to take this job on, or do you have your own reasons?
I think Felix is massively down on his luck and needs every coin he can get. And so when Brina said, "Oh, there's some money in it," it's like, "Oh, is there? Okay, well, I'll come along to that for certain."
Yeah, sure. Those reasons are fine. I also heard they make a good pie.
Yeah, probably. Um, the Glencar lies at the close to the Sleuthwood. Put that in the chat as well. And Sleuthwood is ruled by an ancient being known as Spinster of Shadows Threads. Um, and it's an ancient primeval forest. Um, and there's some elves who live in the woods, but not a lot of other people in general. There are animals and weird creatures, but um, a few elves are the only people who kind of live in the forest itself. Um, one of you, um, actually, I think for Mark, you kind of answered this already, but I'll push this a little bit more. What's your special connection to Sleuth Wood? Why do you have that connection? You are muted.
Yeah, thank you. I think that she knows a, a special connection to Sleuthwood, not the village. Is that right?
Yeah.
Did we say? Okay. Yeah, so I think that I don't want to keep harping on it, but she has heard that the species of tree known as the something tree, one of my partners here will come up with something pretty cool, exists in the Sleuthwood.
Cool. And the rest of you, Zog and Felix, one of you have a positive bond with Spinster of Shadows Threads, and one of you have a negative bond with her. I'm not sure who of you would have which.
I'm happy to go for negative if you're okay with that, Zol.
Sure.
I think I've already tried to steal her. She's got like a briar. Does that make sense? Because that's tying a bit. She's got this crown that's made of leaves and branches and stuff. And Felix had heard that it was magical, and that's how she got all of her powers. So he
Mhm.
thought that he would take that and see if he could, rustle up some cash with it. It didn't go so well.
Yeah, yeah. Stealing trinkets from ancient magical beings is it's fraught, let's say. So Zog, what's your positive connection to Spinster?
So it turns out that I've been cast out of my tribe for reasons I don't talk about. And since it's a one shot, I think it was that the tribe is on the outskirts of this place and had gone in and found a sacred grove, and she begged that we do not burn it down, and I made sure that we didn't. So they didn't like that.
Yeah, yeah. That's why your tribe cast you out.
Yep.
Too bad. But yeah, so it's more that she has a positive impression of you than you having a positive relation with her, then, I guess.
Sure. Yeah. I have a great impression of her. I would not do that impression because she's godlike and might be offended.
Yeah. Then I think at least Zog and Felix, you have actually met her. You've seen her. And she is like kind of looks like an elf, but she's like 8 feet tall, has long green hair, and she has this sense of being ancient. Like she has there's a way about her, and she is at least within the woods, she is incredibly powerful. You've both seen this. She can like make the trees move and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
desperately in love with her.
Yeah, that sounds
I I think I'm desperately in love with her as well, Zog.
It's okay. We won't have to fight for her because she wouldn't choose either of us.
well, maybe, who knows? So you've arrived in town, and you've talked to the new town mayor, Keela. She's the one who has called for adventurers, like put out the message to try to find someone who can rescue these captured villagers. Um, I don't think we need to play through like the meeting with her. I'll mention some of the people who live in the town. You can see decide if you want to talk to them. If you do want to talk more to her, we can do that. So we have the town mayor. We have let's see. We have Riri, who is a halfling. He is a merchant. He was the one who put up most of the reward, like the majority of it. They have also like gathered contributions from the town. Some of the people whose family members or neighbors have gone missing have donated, and some people have donated just because they want to help the town as well. There's also Bonlin, who is a dwarf priestess of god of civilization and stonemason. Aureus is the name of that god. Um, there's also a couple of locations. There's Carrion's Apothecary, uh, which is run by a tiefling whose name is Carrion. There's the Swift Hunter Inn, which is run by a catkin, Murray. And there is there's a gnome here, a very old gnome called Rexin, um, who the others have talked about as someone who's knowledgeable, but also a bit uh, grumpy. He's not the friendliest person. Um, do any of these people call out to you as someone you're interested in talking to, um, or having a scene with, or one of these locations you want to have a scene at? Let's start with you, Rich.
Is this just a general open question of are these characters or are we investigating inside the village about the I'm sorry, I just want to make sure I understand.
You can use you can just have a scene if you want to. You can
Okay.
try to find out information if you want to. What you know right now is that uh Prius, yeah, Aureus. Uh, you can try to, if you're interested in trying to find out more about what's going on or that sort of thing, you can do that. You can also we can just cut straight to you going into the woods.
Got it. Then probably would not want to talk to the innocent villagers because orc. But maybe the tiefling, he might know stuff and might talk to me. So
Yeah,
that'd be a thing.
cool. So that's Carrion. His apothecary shop is it's kind of on the like the this is not a big town, so there is like a small square with some shops and like official buildings around it. His shop is kind of on in an alley off the square. So it's close to the center of town, but in an area where people don't generally walk by. It's kind of a small, crammed place. Um, there's just one the door is kind of narrow and you're kind of a big guy, I assume, so you kind of had to almost go sideways to get inside. There's a lot of strange concoctions in there. Carrion himself is or themselves is standing. It doesn't really have a counter. It's just there are some benches and more for like displaying stuff. And he's working at one of them. He has kind of like a alchemy setup there where he's kind of working on something when you come in. Oh,
Hey,
welcome.
yeah. Hey, can you sharpen this? He pulls out his great axe and hands it over.
Um, well, it's not really my area of expertise, but
Well,
I'll
that's
see
what
what
you
I can
do,
do.
right?
I mostly deal in well um, herbs and various alchemical concoctions,
Oh, I thought
but
you were a blacksmith. Shit.
no.
Fine. All right, then I'll just sharpen it myself.
Well, I can provide you with some oils that will keep it safe from rust and that sort of thing, if you're
It's better
interested.
than nothing, I guess. What do you know about these people getting stolen away?
Oh yes, terrible business. One of my neighbors here in the building disappeared. Um, I didn't
Yeah?
see
Did you
anything
hear
myself.
anything?
I heard some screeching noises. I didn't think too much of it. There's uh, another person in the house has a dog. I thought it was that, but turns out it was one of these vine briar creatures, probably. I assume that's what someone else said. I didn't see anything myself.
Hmm.
Uh,
Vine
we
briar.
could
Yeah.
we could engage a move here,
Yeah?
probably.
Okay.
Uh, so when you're interacting with people, there's a couple of different moves. You can use exert influence when you're trying to convince or manipulate an NPC into doing what you want. That can backfire. There's risk involved with using that move. You can use sense motive. That's kind of study a person sort of move. You can only use that when you're doing when they are in a probing conversation. I would say that this counts. Like they have to be talking to you or someone else, and you're listening in, and they're talking about something that is reasonably important, more than just saying hello and that sort of thing. And those are kind of the interact with a person moves that are relevant for this sort of thing. Um, there is also the character move Bare Your Soul, but that's not relevant here. And there is an Unearth Secrets move. That's when you closely examine a tense or mysterious situation or location. That could be it here. It could be sense motive. It could be exert influence if you're trying to like make him tell you something.
Hmm. Well, first time through, is there a
Yeah,
move you'd like for me to hit that you feel might be situationally appropriate?
I think the one that matches closest what this having this conversation and just trying to talk to him, I think sense motive is probably most relevant. if you're trying to judge like what is he saying, is this true
Okay,
or that sort
cool.
of thing.
I wasn't sure if you thought this was a probing conversation. I'm happy to probe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I
So
will
when you study
sense
some,
motive here and roll plus intuitive. Is that right?
yeah, that is correct.
Hey, I did not take that as my -1. I'll have you know.
Oh,
I am
cool.
0 intuitive.
Yeah. So that's
Uh,
better than I almost said better than
2.
nothing, but zero is by definition nothing. So
Oh, shoot. I did 2.6, not 2d6. Durr. I'm just gonna do that. Do that. There you go. That's a niner.
that is a 9. So on a 7 to 9, yeah, on a 10 plus, you get to ask 2 questions. On a 7 to 9, you ask only 1 question. These questions can be about the character's thoughts, feelings, or motivations. And you will get truthful answers whether the character is answering truthfully or not. They can say something and you can like realize that, oh, they're actually lying and this is what's actually true.
Hmm.
There are some example questions, but you can also ask other things if you're interested.
I just don't know why this is gonna be. How does how do I feel that Carrion's feels? Well, how do I perceive how Carrion feels about these people getting snatched away? I get a read that he's not super worried about it, but maybe that's just from a brief conversation. So what does Zog
Yeah.
perceive about his feelings
Um,
on this?
it's absolutely clear that he's trying to at least play it cool. Like, oh, I'm not too worried about this. But that seems to be like on the surface, he's trying to keep up a facade. Maybe it's because he has this mysterious shop and so that sort of thing. So if he was actually nervous, people it would he might lose in customers. He's also a tiefling, which is kind of a weird creature to show up in a town like this. So it seems like he is actually worried. When he tells you about the one of his neighbors disappearing, you notice that he seems a lot more nervous
Mm.
than he's trying to give you the impression of. So yeah, it seems he's actually worried about it. I think he also mentions that he donated some money
Oh, that's right.
uh,
Yeah.
to the prize.
All right. Well, hey, from one outsider to another, we're here to stop it. So, you know,
I'm very glad to hear that. It's terrible for business,
yeah,
people disappearing from this very building. It's not great for me.
I would think not. Yeah. Well, we'll figure it out. If you hear anything, let me know.
Absolutely, definitely. And take this oil for your axe on the house.
Oh, thank you.
Cool. I think
That's good.
that's
I'm good.
that's it. Cool. So teased. Um,
So I think you said that Miri
yeah,
is
I'm
the
not.
catkin.
Yeah,
Miri,
you
Mary.
you decide how to pronounce it. You're the catkin.
Yeah, exactly. Let's say Mary because that's easy for me to say.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So and Mary is runs the pub, the tavern,
Yeah, the Swift Hunter Inn. Um,
West Hunter Inn.
and
Um,
presumably that's where you're staying. Like you've got a room there. She's you can stay there for free. Uh, you have to pay for the food because that's expensive. But a room. She can offer you a room, and you got breakfast today for free. But if you're staying for any more meals, then you'll have to pay. and
Mm.
the inn is it's a very cozy place. There's furs everywhere. Like she has this big like fur, like sheep wouldn't be furs. I don't know what you call it. Sheepskins. Like
Sheepskin. Yeah.
yeah, sheepskin with the wool still attached
Yeah.
um, everywhere. And she keeps the fire stoked. I think this is like in the summer, but being catkin, she likes it warm. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Warm and soft and cozy.
yeah.
So I'll come downstairs and I'll walk up to uh Meryl,
Hmm.
Mary. And I'll say, now Mary, you realize I'm a Le Bon, don't you? Of the Le
Oh,
Bon
are you
family.
now?
Yes, yes, absolutely. I'm one of the favored sons indeed, and I have a lot of I have a lot of let's say doodads coming my way in the future, but in the time being, I'm just trying to see a little bit of the world, become a bit more worldly, not be locked up in the ivory towers with all of my siblings. Um, and so you know, I just want to reassure you, as a fellow Catkin, that we will be doing our utmost to defend the village and bring back those missing people. Now, thing is, Mary, I'm wondering, and I'm going to also attempt to do a sense
Hmm.
motive here. I'm wondering if you have any suspicions about anyone within the village, any co-conspirators, you might say.
Cool.
Uh, shall I have
Um,
a roll?
Yeah. Just I'm not saying you shouldn't do sense motive here. You could probably also do unearth secrets, but I think sense motive is more fitting for what you're doing. So let's go with that.
Yeah, I mean, I could say, hey, GM, are there secrets to be discovered here? Sorry. Um, let's do the sense motives
Yeah.
first. Yeah. Intuition. So clicking around so much. Intuitive one.
Yeah. So you have a +1.
Uh, Brilliant. Good start.
A
Um,
6.
6. That's how
That's
you get your
great.
XP.
Love to see it.
What's the
Yeah.
aid rule to bring him
If
to
you're
a
there.
7? Oh God, I'm not. Sorry.
I
I'll
mean, you
shut
can
up.
be. I'm quite happy for you to be there, given that this is the end. I
Us-
almost stuck my head in with Zog, but you were having so much fun, Rich,
Oh,
that I didn't want to interrupt.
spend one
Yeah.
affinity.
On a 6 minus, I'll just read the text here. It doesn't go well. Perhaps they sense your motive instead, or something worse happens. Either way, the GM makes a move and you mark 1 XP. And I should note that it often says that you mark an XP on a 6 minus, and that is true as long as you don't resist the consequences.
Mhm.
Because there is a move here called Defy Consequences, and that's for those of you who have played Forged in the Dark game. This is fairly similar to resisting consequences in Forged in the Dark, but here instead of making a roll and taking stress, you spend defiances. And yeah, we should have talked a bit about that maybe. We'll do that now. So there's one defiance for each stat, and you have a number of defiances for the stat equal to your value in that stat, but at most, or at least 0, of course. So the one where you have a +2, you have 2. The one where you have a +1, you have 1. And I think that's it. I think, Rich, maybe should you have another +1 in something?
Maybe. Oh
Maybe.
yeah, it's no, it says assign +2 +1 0 0 -1.
Huh?
in my stats.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have that in front of me. Yeah, character
I
creation.
There's a hover over
oh,
that says +2,
Yeah, but in
+1, 0,
the
0, -1.
on the character
that's wrong.
creation tab, it says +2, +1, +1, 0, and -1.
I will take the one that is more beneficial for me.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I'm going to change that
So
hover over.
cool. And I think you're supposed to have like an equal number of boxes of like check marks for or check boxes for the defiances as you have value in your stat.
Oh, I see.
But you'll have to copy those yourselves.
I
I just did
Um,
will
that.
do that. Please don't mess with it.
yeah, I'm not touching it.
Thank you.
No touching.
Stop touching
Um,
me. But you still have one in the. Oh, so I have a -1. Do I not get a defiance there?
if you have a
Yeah, that's correct.
zero, yeah, if you have a 0 or a -1, you have no defiances there.
Interesting.
You can still resist consequences by using a bond. You can do that once per session, if I recall correctly.
Hmm.
Cool. And also, if you get hit with multiple consequences, you can only resist one of them. So if there's many things coming at you, you'll have to choose. But we should get back to sense motive. So you got a
Yep.
6 minus. And I think what happens here is that uh, Mary, was that how we were going to say it?
Yeah, Mary.
Yeah. Mary, she answers, uh, well, Felix of the Le Bons, I'm Mary of the what would be a good name? The Travasts. And our history as is at least as long and storied as your own. And seeing as you are a stranger here and a guest in my house, uh, I would assume that you should show me perhaps a little bit more respect than you're currently doing.
Oh,
Uh,
oh, goodness me! I never realized. I'm very sorry about that. Of course, please, just excuse me. And Felix will dash out the door as cats are wont to do.
yeah. Um, cool. Are you fine with that scene being over there?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Mark, do you have anyone you want to talk to or some scene you want to do?
I think that it would be a good idea to speak with so Bonlin is the priestess of Aureus. Is
Yeah,
that right? Okay, I'm gonna go speak with Bonlin if no one's done that.
yeah. Her full name is Bonlin Herdovar. And I think there's a small church, and this is um, a little bit outside the town itself. It's up on a hill, like looking out over the town. Um, it's not a big church. It has room for like if everyone in the town were to go there at once, they would not be able to fit inside, which kind of shows that maybe this church isn't, or the deity here, Orius, isn't as popular as maybe they once were or could be. Um, Bonlin is yeah, she's in the church, and it's clear that she kind of does everything around there. When you get there, she's sweeping the floor, and yeah, um, she's kind of. I don't think she really notices you at first. Um, she's busy, like polishing some of the stonework. Orius is a god of stonemasons, so it's like the walls are bare stonework. with very small, like slit windows, and she's kind of polishing the stonework, sweeping up, doing that sort of thing.
Excellent. So, I think that when Barina enters, she kind of walks closer to Bonlin, and Barina clears her throat.
Oh, oh, a visitor, a visitor. And she kind of spins around. Um, she is, yeah, she's a dwarf woman. She's wearing like ordinary clothes. She's very like friendly. She walks up to you, takes your hand like in both of her hands. Uh, oh, you're one of our saviors, come here to rescue our my poor parishioners.
Oh, so you're Bonlin Herdovar, the priestess of Aureus.
Oh, yes, that is correct. You've heard of me?
Just from the townsfolk. Please allow me to introduce myself. I am Barina Orthist of the Orthist clan of scholars. And oh, could I borrow that broom for just a moment?
Yeah, yes, of course.
Okay.
She holds it out to you.
And Barina takes it and hands it off to her unseen servant. To and has the servant carry on with the sweeping. And she says, perhaps if that's taken care of, you'll have a moment of time for me. I understand that there's been a situation with some of the villagers going missing from the village.
Oh yeah, most terrible, most terrible. I've seen the creatures myself. I saw them from the bell tower. Um, they were creeping through the village.
How many
Uh,
were there?
I couldn't say for sure. It was very dark, but I could see it seemed like at least two or three of them. Um,
I see. And the folks who have been taken from the village, have they been taken from different parts of the village or all from the same location?
all from the side of the town that's closest to the woods.
I see, but from different buildings on that side
Yes,
of town.
yes.
That's interesting. Yes, interesting. That's quite interesting. Um, well, I do you have you considered putting up some type of ward around the village to protect the villagers from these creatures from the woods?
Oh, that's not a skill that I possess. I do
Hmm.
not have such powers.
I see. Yes, I see. That's very interesting to me. Um, perhaps that's something you should research. It might, if not now, then it certainly could be useful for you in the future, I would think. Yes.
Uh, d- I'm sure it
Yes,
would, but
but
I don't have. Do you have such magical talents? Because I do not possess such powers.
well, my talents are broad and deep. But no, I can't do that actually. But I am wondering if um you could tell me, has anyone been taken from your this humble church?
Not from within the church itself.
Hmm.
These abductions have all happened at night.
Are all of
And
the villagers, well, so sometimes there are certain cultures, and I apologize because I'm not quite familiar with Aureus. I just know vaguely, having read some texts. Some cultures have a mass uh, overnight, so hence my question.
we
But
could maybe this is a bit. There is a move for recall knowledge. If you want to go for
yeah,
that,
yeah, let's totally do that.
yeah.
And then I'll get
Uh,
to the point here. So recall knowledge takes an adventure
Yeah.
move.
When you search your memory, it's an adventure move.
Yeah.
When you search your memory for important information about a subject, ask the GM one question about it, answer the questions below, then roll with +1 for each yes.
Oh.
And the questions are, is this the first time you've encountered this subject during the campaign? Yeah, that's definitely true. Did you learn about this subject before you began adventuring? And this would be Aureus, I assume. You
She
can
said that
definitely
she
help.
had read some texts, yes,
Yeah.
about it. Yes, yes.
Do you have access to a book or similar record of information about this subject?
I mean, not unless I ask her her directly. So how about if I roll with two?
Yeah, that sounds fair. And
Awesome.
if you had picked academic supplies as your type of supplies, then you could
Oh,
definitely have marked supplies and said, yeah, I have a book about this and I've read this and that recently.
damn
But
it.
you didn't.
So
So
stupid. All right.
cool. So
An
you're rolling
eight.
with a +2. You get an 8. So if I click the right thing, so on a 10 plus, the GM will answer your question plus related context and follow-up questions. On a 7 to 9, the GM will answer it without any context or follow-ups. And so what is your question here about? Is it,
Um,
do they have midnight masses or,
yeah, I guess that's really what it boils down to is
yeah.
yes, yes. Do they have any?
Um, Orius is a god of civilization, and as such, uh, they have their masses, their masses in the daylight. That's when civilized people do things. When you're out and about, the night. That is the domain of chaos and disorder. That's when bad things happen. During the night, everything is, or during the day, everything is orderly. That's when Orius rules. So that's when when they hold their
Andesh, I
masses.
like how you didn't veil your jabs at Catholicism there at all. So well done, sir. You're just like, you know what? Those uncivilized people and their midnight masses.
Well, it's the same in the Swedish church.
Is
There's
it
midnight masses
okay?
here occasionally as well. So
I'm just kidding. I think that ultimately what she's trying to do here is uh unearth secrets.
yeah.
She's trying to closely examine this situation or this location, and I'm going to
Mhm.
ask the GM, are there secrets to be discovered here?
There are. And I'm
Oh,
talking now
yes.
about the village and in general and this whole
Okay.
situation.
Excellent, excellent. That's a great way to
But
get
yeah,
to the end of it.
there's definitely the church is a place where you could discover something.
All
So
right.
I'll read the move here then. Um, if yes, and I said yes, you roll plus astute. No matter what you roll, you always discover something. The GM will tell you what it is: an answer, door, path, treasure, friend, enemy, lair, dungeon, etc. And then it depends on how well you roll. So
Outstanding. It's with
that's plus.
astute, yes.
You have
Excellent.
a +2 in
I do have a
astute.
+2 in astute. Outstanding. So I'm going to do that. Come on. An
An
eight.
8. That's not too bad.
An eight
Uh,
specialist apparently today.
yeah. On a 7 to 9, choose one about your discovery. I'll read the options here just for people watching. It or the process of finding it makes you mark a condition. That's the first option. Second option is it is a clue to something greater, but not significant by itself. Add to affinity to the pool. And affinity is what you use to aid other characters or other players when they're making moves. And the third option is it puts you at immediate risk. The GM will say how an enemy ambushes you, a hidden trap activates, the floor falls out beneath your feet, etc. So, which one of these do you want?
I think that the third one seems least likely under the circumstances. It feels like market condition, if we can find a reason to do that, or clue to something greater but not significant. I think I want it to be significant, so let's skip that one. Let's mark a condition for some reason.
Cool. So let's look at the conditions. So the conditions are angry, conspicuous, deprived, distracted, exhausted, frightened, and maimed. And most of these give you disadvantage to rolls with a particular stat. The
Mhm.
exceptions are deprived, which reduces your supply, and maimed, where you need aid to act. I don't think you're going to be maimed here, so that's probably probably not relevant. Um, let's see. I'm going to look. You can think about the conditions while I'll take a look at some notes here. Um,
Ultimately, do I choose the condition then?
um, let's see. It makes you mark a condition. I think that's a negotiation thing.
Sounds good.
But at at this point, I think like angry could definitely make sense. Conspicuous. I'll tell you what it is you figure out, and you can decide what condition fits with that.
Excellent.
I think during this conversation with Bonlin, um, you get the sense that she's not entirely unhappy about these abductions. Um, some of the things she says makes it sound like, yeah, it's bad that people have been disappearing, but more people have been coming to the church. So that's kind of good, right? They're turning to the light and that sort of thing. Um, so you don't get the sense that she's like an evil mastermind, that she has concocted a plot here or something, but she's definitely taking advantage of this and maybe like stoking people's fears a little bit. Like she's clearly playing it up when she's talking about these when she saw these creatures, when she talks to you, even here, she's describing them as very frightening and coming from outside the village and that sort of thing. So she's definitely like playing up the threat from outside compared to like the village and the light and safe walls of Aureus, which will protect you if you just believe strong enough and that sort of thing.
Okay. Um, Excellent. Mm, I think that if it is okay, I'm going to mark distracted.
Hmm.
I think she's constantly now thinking about why um why Bonwin. She's really wondering about Bonwin's like worldview, and because it's so twisted that she's willing to she's happy to have people disappear from her village as long as it brings more people to church. I think
It
that
sounds it's clear. I don't think she's happy about it, but she is taking advantage of it.
yeah,
It's
okay,
not like
okay.
she would probably prefer that everyone be safe,
Okay.
but now that these abductions are happening, she is like she sees an opportunity. This may not be like a conscious decision
Yeah.
necessarily,
Okay.
but it is clear that she is uh, she's not happy about the situation, but she is happy about more people coming to church, and she's seeing the connection between like, oh, this bad thing is happening, and that's more people are coming to church. So maybe it's not entirely bad. Maybe this is something that can be justified, that sort of thing.
Okay, very good. Yeah, that works. So I think that I'm going to stick with distracted, I think, if that's
Hmm.
acceptable though. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
And the way conditions work is so now you have a disadvantage to rolling with intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
When you can get to cross off the condition, and that's what the second checkbox here is for. You're still suffering from that condition until I think it's until you make camp, which is kind of a not quite end of session move, but sort of
Mm-hmm.
thing where yeah, now we're taking a or the characters have a chance to rest and that sort of thing, and that's when you get to remove the condition. That's how
Okay,
I have understood it.
excellent.
Yeah, that's what I understand. And so you've got that marked and then crossed, and the crossed is you need to have the rest. But how do you actually get it from marked to crossed?
From mark to
Like
cross, yeah, there is a move that is called. Where is that? Is that a character move?
probably a character.
Treat affliction. I think
Uh,
that's the one. Yeah. So with Treat Affliction, when you comfort, heal, or support a companion, answer the following questions, then roll with +1 for each yes. That's if you have bonds with each other, that's +1 for each direction of bond. And does this action relate to one of your drives or theirs? On a 7+, your help works and your companion crosses one marked condition, plus another condition if they open up about their feelings. On a 10+, you also add one affinity to the pool or cross off one marked condition yourself. So I think that's the main way that you will remove conditions. I think maybe there's also something on the group thing because there is an enjoy downtime thing. Um, yeah,
Carouse. Yeah,
that doesn't seem
carouse.
to. Yeah, that doesn't seem to cross off conditions, but it removes more crossed conditions.
I see. Yeah, yeah.
Rally together, maybe. No, that's for getting rid of burdens, which are the like the playbook conditions. Um,
Anyway,
yeah. I
distraction.
think that treat affliction is the main one. Oh, actually, maybe no, that was just adding affinity. You can also, when you complete an arc, which is when you decisively resolve one of your drives, uh, you can clear all of your conditions as well. But I think the main thing is to do treat affliction. Cool.
Hmm.
So you've all been around the town, found out some information, and some of you have found out some information. And we're a little bit past the hour, so I think we'll take a break here, and then I think we'll cut to you going into or being on your way into the woods. Um, cool. So let's see you. Let's get back at 1/4 past. So yeah, so we're back. We'll cut to the three of you on your way into the forest. So this is, like I said, this is an ancient primeval forest. It's not managed or like people don't go in here and like cut down a tree every now and then. This is like left. It's old growth, all of it. The elves who live here, they hunt and that sort of thing, but they don't they don't cut down the trees. That's part of the way how they live here. Um, yeah. So what you're walking into the woods. Um, what's your goal right now? Because you know that Spinster, she lives here in the woods. Felix, you have encountered her here. Zog, you know about this grove that you convinced your tribe not to burn down. Barina, you know about these sentient trees that you hope to find here. So what's your overall objective right now
I
for
think
all of
that
you?
I think that to, to play it out, I think that Barina turns to Zog and Felix and says, do you think your spinster is responsible for this?"
Well, she and I go a long way back. We've had many a run-in and conversation about around the times, and uh, from my well-developed knowledge of her, I don't think she would be involved in kidnapping. It doesn't seem her style, but she does know everything about everything that's going on in this forest. So, I mean, everything, every footstep you take, she seems to know exactly where you are. So I imagine that talking to her would proffer up some information, more information than I got from the publican. She was virtually lapping out of my hand, but she didn't really know much. Strange for a publican, but that's how it goes sometimes.
I really thought you'd had an in, with the publican. I thought that but not forthcoming with
Oh
information.
yes. Well, no, no. Oh no, she was telling me all of her greatest secrets. Just she didn't have any about this particular situation. It was surprising.
Zog, do you think that the spinster might be responsible for this?
No, never. But we should go talk to her.
Okay. So do you two know where to find her?
Hmm, not exactly. She found us. I know of a. He glances over at Felix. I know of a grove.
Ah, yes, that
Yeah.
grove. Well, I mean, we can start going there, and she'll probably pick us up before we get there, I imagine.
I
Now,
just
the two of you
yeah.
do not molest the grove,
Ugh.
or bad things will befall you.
Oh, I couldn't possibly.
Is it all right if I trod upon the floor of the forest?
Yes, but there's no tree people in this grove, okay?
Where do you think the tree? Well,
I don't know, but there's not here, so don't make any messes,
I mean, it
or
seems the perfect
harm will
place.
befall you.
Okay, no messes. Very good.
I just remind everyone that the recall knowledge move exists. So if, like both Zog and Felix, you've been in the woods before, Barina, you could probably have read about the woods. So if any of you want to like ask a question about the woods, you can definitely do that, and we can use that move. Yeah.
Oh, I want Rich and Teast. God damn it. How dare you, Teast?
I will
Whoever.
not repeat that for the viewers. We should spare them that terrible pun.
Treepedio!
You ruined it, Rich. I was trying to
So
save
good. I
people.
know you wanted to
You
be a
wanted
private.
you wanted a name for them.
Oh
So
man.
good.
All right.
Yeah.
I want to see Teast or Rich spout lore here.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
So by reading a move, you ask the question first. So when you search your memory for important information about a subject, ask the GM one question about it, and then we answer the questions below. So what is the question? Because you were talking about where you could find spinster, that is definitely something you could try to.
so yeah, I mean, I think, I think that Felix probably promised to never go back, and that's why he's a bit nervous about this stuff. But the spout law might be, can Felix remember the path
Yeah,
that
yeah,
that to her residence or whatever?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Uh, so is this the first time you've encountered this subject during the campaign? Yes, it is. Did you learn about this subject before you began adventuring? I would say yes, because
Yeah.
yeah. Do you have access to a book or similar record of information about this subject? No. So you're rolling with a +2.
Hmm.
That is an 8. GM will answer the question without any context or follow-ups. So I think you know that that spinster and I think this is something you just glimpsed through the trees. You didn't enter this place, but there is well, what you saw, and this was like you saw her come out of this. It's like a massive building made out of trees just growing in a particular way, like they have been shaped to grow that way. Still living trees, like kind of like a huge dome, like I don't know what you call it, an onion dome, like the Kremlin sort of thing, placed on the ground. These trees growing up, and then further upwards. Huge place. Um, you sort of come out of there, and you kind of know how to get there, but yeah. So that's you know it's like near the center of the forest. So it's you'll have to it takes some time to get there, but you know what direction you should be going at least.
Um, yes, I mean, I think if we head in this general direction, that should work out. That should work fine, I think.
Yeah, and Zog, I don't think we need to make a roll for the Grove. You know where that is. You've been there, and this is kind of like Felix wants you to go in that direction. You know the Grove is kind of off in this direction, but I mean it's close enough. It's roughly
That's fine.
yeah.
I'll let
I,
him. I'll let him lead. He gets surly if he doesn't feel like he's in charge.
I think when Felix
true.
gives this information, though, I think that Barina looks at Zog like out of the corner of her eye, like, is Zog gonna protest or say something else?
Uh,
Nope. All right.
Cool. So you're walking through the woods. Are you trying to keep your presence secret? Are you walking openly? Are you how are you like traveling?
well, so Zog is wearing weathered chainmail with an intimidating great axe and a backup weapon. I don't think he's exactly quiet. I don't think he's stomping around, but if
Hmm.
there is a twig to be snapped, he inadvertently finds it whether he intends to or not. So I
Hmm.
think he's not quiet.
Cool. But are you, because there are there's not a lot of, there's not paths made by people a lot, but there are like deer trails and that sort of thing. Are you following those so that, which means you're kind of more in the open, but you also have an easier time moving? Or are you trying to, oh, let's sneak through the bushes over here where we're not, where we won't be as visible, or basically,
It's
are you taking the
Felix's
easiest
path.
path, or are you trying
Uh,
to?
yeah, no, we're following the path,
Yeah.
and uh, and I'm imagining like that Zog and Barina are basically just following the path. Felix knows, well, believes at least, that that every move they make is being watched, so it doesn't matter whether they try and sneak or not. That said, he's very nervous because he was told not to do this and he's doing it. And so even though he and his natural instinct is to sneak, and so he's sort of like flitting around ineffectually, jumping from tree to tree and running across the path and just being very scattered and
Cat-like.
anxious, cat-like.
Cool, cool. Yeah, I think you've walked for a couple of hours, so you're well into the woods. You've left the town well behind you, um, and there's yeah, the woods are very wet. It's like not quite foggy, but it's like a very damp air. It's like the trees and bushes are kind of dripping with moisture. There you often have to like walk across small brooks and that sort of thing. At one point, you have to wade across a small little stream. Much of the ground is covered with moss and that sort of thing. It's kind of it's not marshland. It's definitely like firm ground, but it's still quite wet. And it smells like that deep forest smell you get from that kind of environment. So we walked for a couple of hours when someone or something, you see something like fluttering through the trees, and just a moment later, they land on the path in front of you. Um, and this is looks kind of like an elf, but also looks kind of like a bird. This person they're elf sized, but they have like a cloak made of um, like really big feathers. That's from some kind of strange bird that you have never seen, at least, or at least, yeah, they're huge feathers, and he's carrying. You can see in his belt he has like what do you call it? A cat of nine tails, like a whip with really big wicked claws on it. And he looks kind of bird-like. He has almost like a beak, and he has like big feathery eyebrows. But he carries himself like an elf, and he flutters down on the path in front of you. Uh, Halt, strangers! Turn back! This is not your land.
Um, Anders, would Felix recognize this creature?
Let's see.
Should I
Let's
do
make a recall knowledge.
I will do a recall knowledge.
Who is
Uh,
this? And I think this is the first time you've encountered them. Um, and I don't think you've learned, or how much have you learned about the inhabitants of the woods? You've encountered Spinster herself.
I've encountered Spinster, and I mean, I can only imagine that to encounter Spinster, I would have at least seen anyone involved with her.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Cut
let's
to a
say
scene of Spinster going, okay, so this idiot Felix broke in. I need you guys to guard this place from now on. Sorry.
If that idiot Felix can break in, we need you guys guarding.
What kind of security are you bird elves doing here? It's bad.
So yeah, let's say you've learned about this because you've learned about the inhabitants of the forest because you were here. But I don't think you have a book, so that's a +2.
It really does only roll eights.
It is an 8 again. Yeah, yeah,
I
it
rolled a
is.
6 before.
Yeah. But we're getting it with different values on the dice, and we have rolled a 9, so it is at a
Yeah.
7. So it's not always an 8.
So,
Yeah, yeah. You from I think you recognize this person as someone who was like somewhere in the background when you were talking to Spinster, and you've connected it with what some of the elves you met when you were here talked about. This person's name is Wildheart Willingly Tamed. Put that in the
nice.
chat. And he is the leader, the head of the Hedge Guard, who is Spinster's like military force, if you can call it that, her honor
Yeah.
guard or something like that. Yeah, he is.
Oh,
So you know
yeah.
who he is. Yeah.
Yeah. I've stuck myself in so hard here, haven't I? Oh, uh, uh, uh Wildheart willingly tamed. Yes, hello. We've we've come to talk to the spinster. This is my good friend Barina, and this is my good friend Zog. Um,
And
how are
you
you
are,
doing today?
and you are who?
Uh, well, I'm Felix Le Bon. You must have heard of me. We're from the great family of the Le Bon of the of the Catkin peoples.
No catkin live in these woods.
No, no. Well, I guess news doesn't, or from the civilized world doesn't make it into the woods. That's great. Excellent that you don't know who I am. Um, may we proceed and meet with the spinster?
You may not. This is Spinster's domain. You are not welcome.
Uh,
Someone here could try to sense
Yes.
motive if you want to find something out, or we could just continue playing the scene out if you want.
I think Zog has got something here.
Oh, Zog's great respect to Spinster, but some people from a nearby village have been stolen away and brought deeper into the forest. We need to speak with Spinster to understand what is happening. I saved
Cool.
her grove once, so in a way, I'm basically a hedge guard, but bigger.
So are you trying to exert influence here, maybe?
Yeah, so I'm throwing some weight around because I'm
Cool.
bigger.
So I'll give you the options here. When you convince or manipulate an NPC into doing what you want, choose one approach. If you persuade them openly and honestly, roll plus compelling. If you deceive them with false words or sleight of hand, roll plus sly. If you threaten their safety or interests, roll forceful. And then there are some possible side effects connected to each of those choices.
I'm not even reading the side effects. I go forceful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you're being the heavy here, basically.
I
Yeah,
am. I
yeah,
am.
cool. So you're rolling plus forceful. I'll mention the things. Actually, let's just make the roll and we'll see what
Let's do it. I rolled. Oh my God, this thing's. I'm so bad at this. I'm used to being the GM who doesn't roll dice, so that's my
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
defense in being bad at rolling dice. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm bad at dice. Okay, maybe that'll work. Yeah, I didn't roll an 8. I rolled an 8 plus
Ooh,
2.
you got a 10. So on a 10, uh, choose one thing they might do from your approach and discard it. If the GM adds a complication, it can't be that one. So the possible complications here is that they might go back on their word later, they might escalate the conflict, or they might look to escape. So you get
I
to
don't
choose
think he's
one of
gonna.
those three.
He will not escalate this conflict.
Cool. So he might go back on his word or look to escape.
Like I care if he escapes. He got in my way. Back on his word. That's later. We've already got what we needed. It's all good. All of these options are fine.
Yeah, I think he sees you like figuring your axe, and you are an orc. You are big and strong and obviously dangerous. Um, and I think he like narrows his eyes. Um, Very well, since you insist, I will bring you to Spinster, but do not presume that she will receive you in a friendly manner. And he begins to lead you through the forest, and he kind of whistles, and it's kind of like a bird-like whistle, and he doesn't like put his fingers in his mouth or anything. He just does the bird whistle. And I think all of you notice that there are shapes moving through the woods, and they're blending in. You're seeing it's like you're seeing uh, a clump of leaves moving through the woods. You're not seeing a person. You're seeing parts of the wood move with you as you walk in. He's walking ahead of you, like making sure that he is several steps ahead of you, and he's not engaging you in conversation. He's doing what you've forced him to do by threat of violence, but he is not. He's clearly not happy about
It's just a little violence.
it. Yeah. So he leads you through the forest, and you arrive at this place that you, Felix, had glimpsed on your visit here. This is like the huge dome, trees growing together, thick trunks, and you can see there are some elves outside, and they seem to be like caring for these trees. But that's and there is an opening, like a gate. There's no door. It's just an opening into this, and you can see that it's not dark inside. There is light coming from somewhere. It's shadowy, and there are like branches and things growing inside. So it's hard to see exactly what's happening in there, but it is open. Um,
As
and
as sorry, as we enter, Felix is going to be not quite so obvious and maybe stand behind the biggest creature that he can see, which would be Zog.
yeah. So you enter into like an antechamber. It's like an entrance. There are kind of like leafy tunnels going in several different directions, including there are like natural, not quite ladders, but they are like tree trunks with vines wrapped around them that you could clearly climb up. And Wild Heart turns to you and he says, "Wait here, and I will appreciate Spinster of your presence, and she will decide how to deal with you."
Okay.
Um, and he walks deeper into the building, or if you would call it that, the structure. And then you hear one of his whistles again, and you kind of look outside, and the elves who were outside, they're scattering. They're like definitely trying. I don't want to be here right now. You see, like an old elf man with like a big bucket of water, and he's kind of scampering for the woods. And you see the shapes from the wood from before are approaching. They are elf-sized, but they're not wearing like camouflage. This is clearly some kind of elf magic because they are like they actually blending into the environment around them. And an arrow shoots out from one of them and like buries itself in one of the tree trunks next to you. And yeah, what do you do?
Oh, not again.
Zog, or I thought you were tight with this. I'm sorry, that's totally wrong. Zog, I thought that this spinster was a friend of yours.
I mean, as much as you're a friend of mine.
Well, that's very rude. We've known each other for years, and I thought that we were quite good friends.
Right. I'll like hold my hands out and not showing no weapons, which is orc parlance for, either I give up or I'm not gonna kill you right now.
Yeah. So I think you're trying to. This could be. Let's see, because I think we should engage some kind of move here. So
Yeah.
I'll talk through some options and we'll see where we land. It doesn't feel like you're trying to engage a threat because that's when you're exchanging blows with someone, so that's not what you're doing. This could be an exert influence. You're trying to like de-escalate the situation, like show them we're not here to be violent. That is an option. This could also be maybe navigate peril when you contend as a group with an environment hazard or mild danger. I'm not sure if this counts as mild danger, but it is a possibility. Um, let's see.
I
What are yeah.
Even if it doesn't exactly fit, I think navigate peril, especially since the playtest would be interesting to engage.
Mm,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that seems fine. So the way Navigate Peril works is you're going to make one roll, and you're going to choose a stat based on your approach. So we'll talk about that. Then the person who has the lowest value in that stat is going to roll. You can spend 2 affinity, and you start with 3 because we have 3 characters. You can spend 2 affinity to get advantage on that roll. Um, so that's basically how it works. I'll talk through the options. So you'll roll with forceful if you're fighting past an enemy, escaping captivity, moving something heavy, etc. That doesn't feel like what you're doing right now. Sly if you're being stealthy, climbing something, or doing something covert or illicit. Astute if you're using special knowledge or unusual preparations and tools. Intuitive if you're following gut feelings, magic, or dumb luck. Compelling if you're befriending, persuading, or deceiving someone.
I mean that, yeah, it's the last one, right?
Yeah,
What?
it
Yep,
seems like the most fitting. Rich, do you agree? Or
I don't disagree.
Are you -1 in that by any chance?
It turns out that I am indeed -1 on compelling.
yeah. So you can spend 2 affinity to gain advantage on the roll. So you'll be rolling, yeah, 3 dice, taking the 2 highest. And I'll go through the results. On a 10 plus, you succeed without issue. On a 7 to 9, you overcome it, but one of you suffers harm. The one rolling chooses who suffers the harm. So, Rich, you're going to get to pick who suffers harm. And harm here should be interpreted broadly. I don't think it doesn't need to be physical harm,
Okay.
the way I read this.
Just spoiler
Um,
alert, it's gonna be Felix, but okay.
Yeah. I'll also note that on a 6 minus, choose one. You overcome it, but mark a burden, and burdens are the conditions on your team playbook. Or something twists it into worse than it seemed. The GM makes a move and you mark 1 XP. So those are the possible results. Do you want to spend 2 affinity to make this roll with advantage?
I feel like I would lobby yes, but I want this to be a group decision. Okay.
Thumbs
It's
up from everyone.
all thumbs all the time. So
Cool. So
2d6
yeah, I'll go to the group
plus 2
tab and reduce your affinity to 1.
plus, so we're doing 3d6 then. We're rolling with
Yeah,
affinity or with advantage, and
with
then
advantage.
-1 because of my
Yeah.
compelling nature. Here we go. I rolled an 8, but unfortunately that was with 3 dice adding together. So
You
the
get a
4 and the 3 is a 7, -1 makes it a 6.
6. Cool. So on a 6, you get to choose. You overcome it, this peril, but you mark a burden. So the team gets something bad, or something twists this into something worse than it seemed. The GM makes a move, and you mark 1 XP.
Something twisted is worse than it seemed. The GM makes a move, and I mark 1 XP. Do we all get to mark 1 XP?
No, that's just for you, I
I
think.
get XP.
So I'll tell you what happens. I think you're going to get into a fight here with a hedge guard. That's one consequence of this. And you personally take an arrow to the chest, which is going to hurt you. You're going to get, what is it? I think
As long as it's
not
not in the
maimed,
knee, because that
probably.
could end a career.
No, not the knee. No, no, no. That would be too evil. I think you'll mark a condition, but you get to choose which one. So you can resist either one of those, or you can suffer both of them, but you can't resist both. So take an arrow, get into a fight, or both. And if you want to resist, you'll have to use one of your defiances or rely on a bond.
Is the spinster around? Like, have we seen her?
No, you have
Okay.
not.
So it's just a bunch of scrubs who think they can talk smack to us. Let's get in a fight. You
Yeah,
guys are
this
bad
is
at their job, and they think that they're gonna like keep from having to do their job by whaling us. That's a bad news for them. Bad call.
yeah. It's just half a dozen elves with elf magic and
Half a
bows. How
dozen
dangerous
elves
can it
is
be?
like two orc, and you guys are each half of an orc, so it's even match.
Yeah, sounds fair. Cool. So it sounds like you're okay with getting into a fight. Do you want to resist taking an arrow?
I would like to resist taking an arrow,
Cool. So let's see. Are the
but I
description?
don't have any defiances on compelling, so I don't think I can.
You can by using forceful, sly, or astute, which
Oh,
are
I'll use
the ones where
forceful.
you have. Because the how did I print this out? I'm not sure I did. Yeah,
Yeah,
define consequences. What consequences you can resist depend on the stat. And in this case, you could definitely use forceful to like physically like resist the arrow, or you could use sly to like move aside, for example. I don't have the exact wording. I'll find that.
Oh, it's on defy consequences. Yeah.
Oh, it's on defy consequences. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
right here.
cool.
I will use forceful just because I like the idea of Zog the last second, like swatting it away with his axe, doing a little Yadomujutsu, you know,
Mhm.
arrow cutting there.
Cool. So you'll mark
Get
one
this
of
the hell away
your
from me.
forceful defiances, and then you are in a fight. These elves are rushing you. A couple of them are firing arrows, and the others are on you with, I need to find the description. Yeah, with spears. And they're not like going for a stand-up fight where you stand and slug at each other, maybe like orcs tend to do. They are like stabbing at you from the side and brushing away and that sort of thing. They're very much hit and run. Um, so I think I'll go to Barina first. How do you react to this suddenly escalated situation?
I think that if I am reading this correctly, then she's going to weave a spell, which is to protect from,
Hmm.
and it's the arrows
Yeah.
that are coming in. So she's going to throw up a, not vomit, but she's going to put up a shield real quick to protect her and her companions from the arrows.
Cool.
So if that works, then I'm going to be rolling plus astute, I think.
Yeah, you're using Weave a Spell. When you combine a marked verb and substance into a magical effect. Yeah, and you've done that, and you roll plus astute. Yeah. Oh, Rich, actually, by the way, since you resisted one of the consequences,
Uh-huh.
you don't get the XP.
Oh, man.
You only get
Wait,
the
so there are two
XP.
consequences, and because I resisted one of the two, no XP? That's
Yep,
interesting.
yep.
Okay, I thought, okay, that's fine. I don't need it.
You
I don't
you only
need your
get
dirty XP.
yeah. You only get the XP if you roll a 6 minus and you suffer the consequences without.
All the
Uh,
consequences. Okay,
yeah,
got
yeah.
it.
Okay.
Cool. So plus astute. That's a 12.
All right.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
hey, stopped rolling eights.
Hey, so 10 plus, the effect is created successfully. Choose one from below. Lose access to the spell's verb or substance. Um, the spell is not exactly what you wanted. Your magic draws unwanted attention. I would be happy to. I mean, are we okay with saying arrows as substance here, Undesh?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we'll lose access to the spell's substance.
Cool. So you can't affect arrows anymore
Yes,
until
big camp.
you've made camp. Cool. Yeah, so the arrows are just how are you like are they bouncing off? Are they disintegrating? What
Ooh,
happens?
let's
And
see.
how does this
Yeah.
effect you put up? What does it look like?
I think that it since it's this damp air that we've been moving through, it's wet in here and so forth. Um this kind of dense fog um kind of uh manifests there in front of her, and these arrows are hitting the fog, and it's so dense that it's actually slows them down so that they're kind of like just jammed into this fog that she's created. All these different arrows.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, like Dune shields. Cool. So, Felix, you saw Zog try to calm things down, didn't work. Barina is protecting you from the arrows, but there's still a couple of these elves are rushing in with spears and trying to stab at all of you. What do you want to do?
So Felix, he has a saber, and apparently he's very good at with it. And consequently, he runs up a tree.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is this is this inside the structure, or are you rushing out into the
well,
woods?
we're kind of inside the structure. So what he's actually
Hmm.
doing is uh, he's going to try and essentially sneak behind and get in a position where he can help Zog out. Because, like, they've been in fights before. Zog does the hitting, Felix does the sort of distraction so that Zog's got the advantage to be able to do that. So it's running up, through the branches inside this tree building, um, being very surreptitious about it and trying to get to a position where he can cause distraction.
Cool. So I think you will need to sneak past to do
Hmm.
this. So when you slip through or hide from a danger or obstacle, roll plus sly, which you are pretty good at, I
Hmm.
think.
Hmm.
Yeah. So roll plus sly. That's an
Yes,
11. We've broken the
absolutely.
curse. Or
Yeah.
only Zog is cursed, maybe. I don't know. So on a 10 plus, you cleanly evade their notice. So yeah, the fog goes up, that's obscuring the vision. You slip up, and the elves clearly don't know where you are.
Mhm.
They're all fo rushing in towards Zog. So Zog, you have two of these elves with spears. They are closing in on you, and you can tell that these are trained fighters. But yeah, sure, they're still elves, and you're an orc. But yeah, how do you want to deal with this?
There is this thing called engage a threat, exchanging
Yeah,
blows with a threat up close. That is the thing I would like to engage.
that sounds fair. We should maybe also look at Aid a Companion, since Felix was
Oh, you're
kind of
setting that up, that's for sure.
yeah, yeah. So I'll read Aid a Companion. When you help a
Uh,
fellow PC accomplish a task, spend one affinity or do it for free once per session if you have a bond with them. So they choose one on their next move, roll with advantage, move accomplishes more than normal, or ignore the penalty from a condition except dying. Well, you currently don't have a condition, so Felix, do you want to aid a companion?
Yes, I most definitely will aid a companion.
Uh,
For now, I'll just use the bond because that's the easy
yeah.
one.
Hmm.
But just so that Zog and Barina know, as the roguish character, I have a thing called Heat, which means that I can aid, and I can use up to I've got like 5 heat or something, and one of the things I can spend that on is aiding you, so it doesn't have
Nice.
to come out of the affinity
Pretty
pool.
cool.
Very cool. Cool. So let's look at engage a threat. So yeah, when you exchange blows with a threat, up close or at a distance, roll plus forceful.
I'm rolling with advantage, correct? Because of the aid.
Advantage. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a 14.
A 14, that is pretty good, I would say.
That's max,
So
man. I need more than pretty good.
okay, that is awesome or
I
orcsome.
feel accomplished
If
because randomizers did high things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'll read through the things. On a 7 to 9, you have three options to choose from. On a 10 plus, you have two more things to choose from, and you get to pick two. And the options are you exhaust, distract, or intimidate them, add one affinity to the pool. You hurt them, they mark a condition, and then escalate. And the way I'll explain a little bit about how that works later. I'll go through the options. You take something from them if it makes sense in the fiction. You avoid their retaliation. If you've already hurt them above, you inflict terrible harm. They mark another condition but don't escalate again. And now I'll explain how the enemies work mechanically. So, enemies who are not just pushovers, enemies who are pushovers, if you give them a condition, they're done. Whatever that means, depending on the fiction. Enemies who aren't just pushovers, they have a number of conditions. I think the maximum is 5, and that is pretty extreme. That's like a extremely dangerous threat. But these guys together could maybe have one, two, or three conditions, something like that. And when they mark a condition, they escalate. That means they have something a fictional event tied to that condition that
Feels a little
activates.
masksy, which is
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Like it's not a that's a thing I like. That's
yeah,
neat.
yeah, absolutely. So if you make I think the one of the examples from the rule book is when you make the big dragon angry, it sets everything on fire. So that's like when the dragon marks angry, it sets everything on fire. That's something that happens.
Okay.
So yeah, if these guys have one condition and you give them two and you make them mark two conditions, then they're out. That means they're done. But you don't know how many conditions they have. So if they have two and you make them mark two, then they will mark both of them, but they will only escalate once. Um, that's
And
how that
escalate
works.
is the
The
reaction thing.
reaction
Yep.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool.
Mm.
But if so, and also if you don't say that you avoid their retaliation, you're going to take a condition in exchange, and you can still resist that. Oh, I should, yeah, that's an important thing to know actually. Defy consequences when you want to avoid or overcome a negative effect. That's not only for consequences from a move, that can be things that are just in the fiction as well.
Hmm.
Okay. Uh, fictionally, exhaust, distract, or intimidate them. Could that potentially get us over this fight? Like, would we get over, or is that a
Yeah, I think it could. The mechanical thing as you add is that you add one affinity to the pool, meaning you have
hmm
created
hmm
like an opening for your allies. Uh, from the description here, that could mean that you haven't defeated them, but you've repelled them, so that yeah, they have to withdraw. The fight is over, but they could definitely come back at some other point.
uh Zog is but these are obviously they're bad at their job, but Zog's logic is Spinster chose them for some reason. He doesn't want to just slaughter these elves.
Hmm.
Uh So, if you guys are cool with it, I'm going to choose to exhaust, distract, or intimidate them, add one affinity to the pool, and because I can't do the escalated hurt, my second option is I'll just avoid their retaliation. That we
Mm.
are a wall, and they can do none to us, and therefore they are tuckered. That's a southern word for tired, exhausted.
I've heard that before or read it or something. Anyway, yeah. So these elves are rushing you with spears. So how are you, Zog and Felix? You're fighting together to confuse them or intimidate them, make them realize that, oh, we need to pull back. This is too dangerous. How are you doing that?
I
Uh,
well, I want to know what Felix does because he was
yeah,
aiding me.
so from behind, Felix lets fly with many daggers, which is like one of his equipment things. But he's not, we had that eye to eye and we know that we're not actually trying to hurt them. So the daggers are like landing in the ground at the feet of the elves. And that's when the elves look down. And that's when over to you, Zog.
Yeah. They look down. They're of course worried about the assailing many knives. Are those Many Mini or is it Many knives? I'm just curious.
Many.
Is it lots of small knives or lots and lots of knives? I'm not looking at your
It's
sheet. I was just curious if it was a homonym or the same word twice. It's fine. It was a very funny joke in my head, and then
yeah,
I said
I
words out loud. Sorry.
I mean, it's getting late for me. It took me a
I
while
know.
to
I'm
work out.
sorry.
Yeah,
You're
I
in Greece,
apologize.
and I'm not a good joke
Many,
maker.
many
Here.
knives. No, I think given that I'm a little catkin, there probably is many knives.
Oh,
Yes.
that's awesome. Like Chinese stars, except there's no China. Ninja stars, except there's no ninjas. I don't know stars. You're flinging all of this stuff. They're harried by that. One throws his like tries to jab with his spear, and I catch it in a bit of a chain link, and it twists the head. Maybe these aren't metal tip spears, or they're just like wooden shoot like bamboo
Yeah,
spears, or
Mm,
yeah, I think they are like they're wood spears, but they've clearly been like affected by magic. It's not just
yeah,
like a
cool.
wooden stick.
Okay, good. Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's I think they're like kind of branched at the tip and then
Oh,
go
that's awesome.
together into like one big tip. So they're yeah.
Nice. That sounds scarier than I was imagining. But okay. Like twist with the chainmail, and I kind of wrest it from his hands, and another one stabs at it. I do another like "get this hell away from me" thing with my great axe, and maybe I whack one of them in the side of the head. But so I think we repel them, but it's pretty clear I didn't swing an axe at any of their heads, and
Mhm.
probably could have. And
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
that's part of what exhausts them. And maybe they're like, hey, let's pick our fights differently, and not get in the range of that damn thing.
Yeah, I think they are definitely intimidated. Like so they they realize that they are no match for this fierce orc warrior and whoever it is that's throwing daggers at them from this within this thick fog wall. So they're pulling back. You hear some sort of whistle and they are moving back into the woods. And we are 5 past the hour, so let's take another break. Is 5 minutes okay? Cool. So we have about 45 minutes left. I don't want to keep anyone longer than that. I figure we'll try to finish up the scenario. If we have any time left over, we can talk a little bit about the game. But I want to prioritize like finishing playing. We can discuss things over email or something if we want to later. Cool. So you've chased off the hedge guard, and what happens now is that you were in this antechamber. The wall of trees behind you that were kind of closing off your entrance. There were some tunnels and all of that, but the wall behind you opens as these trees just move aside, and within there you see this big chamber, big open chamber. There's sunlight streaming in from above, like filtered through the leaves, so it's all greenish light. And it's a big room. You see there are some elves in there, and you see all of these villagers that have been abducted are in this room. And at the far end, you see Spinster of Shadows Threads is standing, and she's like gesturing. Clearly, she's controlling the trees moving aside. The villagers are here. They don't seem to be in distress. They are kind of lounging about. They're being served food and water, and they seem to be quite comfortable. And you see Wildheart as well is by Spinster's side. And he's not looking too happy. You can see, like, just by his posture that he's unhappy about this. And Spinster, yeah, like I said before, she's like 8 feet tall, incredibly like thin, an ancient elf or elf-like creature. She has this long green hair. She has like a kind of greenish white robe or dress, and she's standing there at the far end.
Oh man.
What? She has them all. I don't understand. I thought you said this is not the type of thing that she would be involved in.
I guess I was wrong.
How do we should I introduce myself to them? To her?
Sure. Yeah, I'm sure that will ask her why she's doing this.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Zog's like pouring oil on his axe. He's ready. This is gonna be a fight. He just wants Barry to feel like she's contributing.
What? But why? Why would they? I I don't. So I think that Perina will kind of stride forward, and she looks at the spinster, and she says, "Uh, great spinster of shadows threads. I am Barina Orthist of the clan of scholarly Orthists. I'm helping and my companions, who apparently you know, are 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 here to help the villagers from the local village of I can't remember the name, but that's okay. Who Glencar, who have apparently mistakenly found their way here and need guidance home. If you would allow us to help these poor villagers make their way back to their village where their families miss them greatly."
Yeah, and she answers, and she has a voice that is like the wind through the ancient trees. This is not a mortal's voice, and since I personally am a mortal, even though I am a GM, I cannot fully imitate that. But yeah, you just have to use your imagination. But yeah, she answers, "These mortals have chosen to come here to help me in my great work."
And what is this great work that they are accomplishing for you, great spinster of shadows threads?
This is no concern of yours.
Ah.
Leave, and all will be well.
And Barina turns to Zog and says, "Can, can you persuade her?"
Looks to his axe. One way or another.
uh, she turns to Felix. Oh, sorry, you're muted, bud.
I'm up in the branches.
You're up in the branches. Okay, okay.
Mm,
Oh, well, if you want to hide from her, I think you'll have to sneak past because
yeah,
Do
I'll do that.
it.
I'll do it. And because that could be very amusing when I fail, right?
yeah, yeah.
Um,
So
I'll do.
that's with Sly.
Yeah.
13.
Well,
The dice love you today.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
um,
you have vanished up into the branches. Spinster clearly doesn't know where you are. She's entirely focused on Zog and Barina.
I think Felix has ended up directly above her.
Yeah,
From above.
Death from above. So, to clarify, Wildheart is there, the
yeah.
Spinster is there, the villagers are there. Are there other opposing forces
There
there?
are some elves who are like serving food and such to the villagers. They are not armed. They're clearly not part of the hedge guard. They are just and they seem like, well, not quite servants, but
Mm-hmm.
they are serving, if that makes
Mm.
sense.
How many villagers are there approximately?
About a dozen,
Okay,
all ages. Or actually, I wanted to stay away from abducted children, so these are like teenagers and
sure.
let's say.
I'm I'm gonna tr if no one else
You
is
got
like
more?
making a move at the moment, I'm going to shout. I'm gonna say to Spinster, uh, we've been very civil. So look here. Release these villagers from your control and let them return to Glencar where they belong. If not, you shall face the wrath of. She looks over at Zog. Many fierce warriors.
Cool. Um, she seems entirely unmoved by this.
Yeah, I figured.
Uh, she does not care for your petty threats, um, and let's see, maybe they have something here for this. Um, no, I think you do not know the harm that the inhabitants of this Glen Car have done to me. These simple folk here have chosen to assist me in ending the pain that I suffer. But since you do not see fit to leave well enough alone, I will end this now. And you see the trees that make up this chamber, some of them start to disentangle from the walls, and they are coming alive. And you're seeing these sentient trees that you were looking for. And I think this could lead us to trigger. Um, I'm going to point this to Bare Your Soul on the character moves tab. Once per session, when you emotionally engage with a meaningful discovery, dark secret, beautiful landscape, rare creature, historical landmark, burnt village, family grave, etc., describe to the other players what your character is feeling and choose one below, and you get to do something.
So I think briefly describe to the other players. Okay. So I think
Yeah.
that what happens is Barina feels like, my God, these sentient trees exist. They're here, and yet they're enslaved by this disgusting overlord creature, and they must be freed, along with the villagers. So I think that adding one. So I think that she briefly says to Zog, "We have to free these enslaved tree creatures from her." So add one affinity to the pool. Is that acceptable?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're three.
And you can choose, if you want, to mark a condition to mark one additional XP. If the motion is intense or difficult.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, the trees are moving forward. They're not obviously like attacking you or threatening you, but they are like they're trees. If they start to like push you out of here or something, there's not a lot you can do about it, like just with your physical, ordinary physical force. But that's not necessarily what's going to happen. Right now, they have kind of moved forward and stopped. She's kind of like showing her power and trying to intimidate you. Zog, how do you react to all this?
There's a definite sadness in Zog, like a fatalistic look to his eyes of a thing that he wanted to believe in that isn't true.
Are you also bearing your soul, maybe?
Sure, let's see how this goes, because that's what this game cares about. Let's do the thing. I keep thinking about bears, and
Don't ensoul your bear. That's something different.
oh, okay. He lowers his axe and says, "Great spinster of shadows, you must recall when I defended your grove from my brethren, from my tribesmates, when they bled on the forest floor at my axe. You, these people did not agree to whatever ritual you are about to perpetrate on them. I cannot allow it. The people of that village have sent us here to bring them back. If there is another way that you can gain what you need, then you should seek it. But we
Cool.
will not allow this. Me and this, Barina here. Just the two of us.
Nobody else.
Yep.
Cool. This sounds like you're trying to persuade her.
Or bearing soul. Like I was going for barrier soul.
Yeah.
Like,
Sorry.
this
Yeah,
means a lot to
absolutely.
me. I'm
Yeah,
emotional about this.
let's finish that. And you open up. So that means you add another affinity to the pool because this wasn't just you keeping your emotions to yourself.
I know. Yeah, you're never going to see that again.
Yeah,
It's a one shot, so savor it.
absolutely. But I think it sounds like you're also trying to convince her, or are you trying to sense motive? Like you're trying to, like,
Yeah, I'd love
stay
for her to
convinced
tell
that-
me like, why do you need this thing? That's a thing
sure.
I want to know.
Let's go for that then. Then you're rolling plus intuitive.
Awesome.
And to be clear here, someone else could roll this as well because you're the one engaging her in conversation, but everyone is observing.
What if
So if
I'm
someone
aiding
else wants-
Barina, who's probably more intuitive than I?
I'm not sure she is, but
I think
maybe.
she is. She's technically one intuitive. I'm zero intuitive, and also
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want Mark to roll some dice. So I'm going to
No,
aid you
no.
in trying to
Well,
open. I've said the words to try to pry open. I'm trying to help you to discern
I have
some kind of
disadvantage to
reality.
intuitive.
You have a what?
I have a disadvantage to intuitive, sir.
Oh crap!
Oh, because you're
No, I don't
distracted.
want to
Because you're
do
distracted. Okay, fine.
it.
I'll do the thing. All right, I'll do the thing. I
But
thought I was.
Felix has a +1 to intuitive.
Ooh, but then he'd have to tell us what it's going. Okay, I'm helping the Felix. Felix, do the
Great.
thing.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. No, because you're doing the talking
Yeah,
and I'm just listening in, trying to
yeah, yeah,
work it
yeah.
out. And then I just do,
Absolutely.
okay. Okay. I'm up for that for sure.
Cool.
+1, 2d6 +1 with
So am I
advantage.
burning? I'm trying to
If
sorry.
you
I'm
want
supposed
to aid, you spend 1 affinity.
Okay, well we got all that affinity for some. It's burn a hole in my pocket. I'm spending one of the three, knocking it
Yeah,
back down to two. You now can roll advantage to understand
yeah.
Okay.
more.
That would be a 13.
Oh my God. The dice are hot. Yeah, so sense motive. You can, on a 10 plus, you can ask their player 2 questions during this conversation. If they're an NPC, you ask the GM. Yeah, so you get to ask me 2 questions, and there are example questions, but you can obviously ask anything else. And it doesn't have to be like super relevant to the conversation. It has to be something that you could like intuit from what's going on, but it doesn't have to be like a
Uh,
direct answer to like something that was said.
I'm going to actually take two of the ones in the list.
Hmm.
Um, well, I'll start with how might I get you to free the villagers?
Um, so it seems clear that uh, because she talked about her great work, and from what you understand, you've seen how Barina works magic. This is some sort of magical ritual, and what you can uh, intuit from this is that she needs people who are from outside the forest. So if someone was to volunteer to take the place of the villagers, yeah, she would probably let them go. But she's not going to just stop what it is she's doing. Or actually, that would be the other thing. Yeah, there is one other thing. If you could dissuade her from doing this work, whatever that is, then yeah, obviously she won't need the villagers anymore. She hasn't captured them just to have them. She needs them for whatever it is she's doing.
Which leads me to my next question, which is very similar to the previous one.
Yeah.
How, how might I get you to stop doing this, pursuing this particular work, this
Yeah.
thing that
Um,
you do?
you can see, and this is a change you see in her from when you met her last time. She is heavily burdened by some kind of sorrow or pain. And this is what's driving her to do this thing, whatever it is. So if you could ease that emotional burden, then that would release her need for whatever it is she's doing.
Um, I think I think that Felix, after perceiving this, um, realizes that she is in pain, and and he understands that a bit. He's been thrown out by his family. Um, so he's going to drop down to the ground, a reasonable distance away from her,
Hmm.
and is going to say, no, ah, uh, great spinster, what 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 pains you so that you that you feel compelled to pursue this work? How can we ease this pain and help you help the forest help you recover?
Yeah, and when you drop down, Wild Heart kind of steps forward, like it, as if she needs him to protect her, and she kind of just gestures for him, and he steps aside, and he gives you kind of a stink eye. He's clearly not happy about you having snuck up there without him seeing you. Um, and she looks down on you just from the virtue of her height, and her voice kind of cracks as she says, "How do you ease a mother's sorrow at losing her last living child? How do you help her forgive those who slew that child?"
Rich, Mark, do you wanna? I mean,
Who's the child that you speak of?
My last living child. It's written here. Cacophony of Silence.
Wildheart, is this your sibling?
Um, he kind of scoffs at you. I am I'm not a child of Spinster. I do not have that honor. Uh, I am merely one of her, I think. Yeah, what does he say? He says one of her adoring subjects. Cacophony of Silence was her child, her her progeny, the last living. Um, I don't want to use the word spawn, but there's probably some good
Yeah.
Hmm.
word for it. Of Spinster of Shadows Threads, her own, the last living product of her own flesh and blood.
There's, there was no there was no malicious intent. It was whatever happened must have been a mistake.
And Spinster speaks now. I know they did not mean to kill my child, but they did. And if I am to survive and contain my wrath, I must separate myself from the village. And to do that, I need these people who have accepted to assist me. I need the presence of outsiders in order to complete my work.
I think that Barina tries to speak with one of these um villagers.
Mhm.
Excuse me, you. Does the person seem like they're a drone or do they?
No, no, no. They've been following this conversation, and some of them have been kind of whispering among themselves. Who's the person you're approaching?
I don't know who the villagers are that were that were
They're
stolen?
different ages and
It's going to be an older woman.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And go ahead,
Yeah.
please.
No, no, no. There's an older woman there, kind of heavy set, long gray hair in kind of like a braid. She looks like she could be a farmer's wife or a miller maybe.
Are you here of your own free will?
Uh, th- is- uh, Ma'am, the spinster's messengers told us of her great pain and that if if she didn't have our help in closing off the woods, she would she would destroy the village. So we chose to come here. We'll get to live in the woods, and it's beautiful here.
Marina will look at Zog, who is there, to see try to read Zog's face, I think. Does he think that this is bullshit and that we're just gonna have to cut our way through this? Or
Yeah.
yeah, okay. All right. So I think that Barina can sense magic as one of her cantrips. Does she sense
Mhm.
that there's magic controlling this woman?
There's not magic controlling her, but she has definitely been influenced, not
Yeah.
in a way that would like directly affect her will,
Yeah.
but probably these messengers have been like supernaturally persuasive.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just she's not here against her will, but she has been like convinced that this is what is for the best.
Okay. Zog.
So, Dog, how are you reacting to this?
The villager who answered Barina said, "We get to stay in the forest. We get to be happy."
Hmm.
Spinster, is it true that these villagers will not be sacrificed, or will they die when you complete this ritual as part of your vengeance?
This is not my vengeance. This is me staying my hand from vengeance. Um, but they will they will live. Their bodies will not be harmed. Their minds will not be harmed. They will lose their memories of the village.
So, so they will be losing their mothers, their fathers, their children.
They have chosen to make this sacrifice to save their mothers, their fathers, their children.
But you are no better than them if you are taking their dear ones
I'm not
in
claiming to
retaliation
be
for your being taken.
I'm not claiming to be better. I'm claiming that I have this one um, path away from destruction.
Can we can we move the village? Would
Ooh.
would that would that suffice to put space between you and civilization, for want of a better word?
Hmm. I think you're trying to
Yeah, I
persuade
guess.
her here, openly and honestly, it sounds like. which means you're rolling with compelling. Someone can assist you because I think, yeah, you have affinity left.
Should so I'm
So,
trying to do persuade, right? That's what we just said. Where's that
Mhm.
gone?
Yeah.
Somebody should
Exert
help.
influence is the
Did you
move.
want to, Barina, even though you're addled or condition marked or?
no, I mean, I think that you should.
Okay. Yes, I will help
Addled.
you out. I'm spending one more of our affinity.
Cool. And both of you could assist Felix and pick different options from the list on Aid a Companion.
Ah, that's neat.
Yeah.
So multiple, we're saying?
Yeah. You
Okay,
can
cool.
if both of you aid,
You just have
then
to
you
choose
spend,
different options, right?
you have to,
Yeah.
yeah, you have to choose different options. So you could choose roll with advantage and the move accomplishes more than normal, for example,
Yeah.
would be the
I'll
relevant
choose roll with
options.
advantage. You should do a thing and choose another thing.
Yeah. Okay, I will. So I'm spending the another affinity. Um, and it will be roll with advantage or move accomplishes more than normal, whichever one Rich didn't take.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
So, yeah, let's see
All right.
if the dice are still friendly.
Well, we'll see. But just to put it out there,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so Felix, his +2 in Sly,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, so the question is, I did it in a very honest way and
Yeah, yeah,
open
yeah.
way, but maybe Felix is actually completely lying and just wants to take the villagers back, um,
Cool.
having
Uh,
lied to her about this.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
I
let's talk it through. Because there are different consequences to the move depending on which way you do this.
oh yeah,
So
yeah,
if
yeah.
you persuade them openly and honestly, they might ask you for a promise or payment or only partly follow through. That's the bad thing that can happen. And if you get a 10 plus, you get to choose one of those that can't happen.
Hmm,
And
hmm.
then the other one might happen, but it's not guaranteed. That's like a GM decision. If you deceive them with false words of sleight of hand, you roll plus sly. Then they might introduce a twist or learn something about you. So you get to choose one of those that can't happen, but the other one could happen.
I mean, I feel like I'm, you know, talking above the table. I feel like I am kind of playing the rules rather than the character. Do people feel like, hey, I'd like a vote. Are we, am I going to go sly or am I going to go honest and uh, you know, full open? Rich, Mark, what do you think?
I've got your back whichever way you want to go. You go with
Okay,
what you think Felix would do.
Yeah, and I think
fine.
basically here is, are you going to honestly try to convince the village to move, or are you just trying to trick her into releasing the villagers, and then
Yeah,
whatever
let's do
happens
it. I'm
happens?
going to trick her. I'm going to trick her. So
Cool.
Felix, with all the flourishes that he can and all the airs and the put on accent and everything, is going to try to convince her um, that we will move the village. Of course, we need all the villagers right now so that we can move that
Mhm.
village. Yeah. But he has no intention of actually doing so. Um, and yeah, so that will be with advantage +2. I guess I don't really need to write +2 on there, do I? Anyway, wow. So that would only be a 9. Oh no, 5, 8, 9, 10. I can do
No,
maths.
yeah, you have a +2. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Because you
yeah,
chose Sly, you get
yeah.
the 10
Uh-huh.
plus. Yeah. So on a 7, I'll just read the thing. On a 7 plus, they will do what you want, but the GM might add a complication based on your approach. On a 10 plus, choose one thing they might do from your approach and discard it. The GM adds if the GM adds a complication, it can't be that one. So with deceive them with false words or sleight of hand, they might introduce a twist or learn something about you. Which one of those do you want to discard?
I mean, they might introduce a twist.
Cool. So I think she listens to you, um, and I think yeah, I think what she learns about you, and tell me if this isn't correct, is that you're willing to do the right the thing that is right now, what is good right now, ignoring the future consequences.
Yeah, yep,
Where's the
yep.
lie?
Yeah, yeah. Um, and I think her answer is very well. If you can move the village, then these people can go. But know that if they are still there, the constant reminder of my loss will be a burden on me, and that burden is added to many others that I carry. I do not know who I will be when these burdens mount up and wear on my soul. And she waves her hand. The trees that had stepped forward, they meld back into the building, and the elves here, they start to like escort the villagers out. And Wildheart, he kind of in a like reluctantly kind of bows to all of you and then starts to like usher you out. It's clear that yeah, you're all leaving now.
Yeah, I mean, I think presumably the peeps, the village peeps, are a little sort of fuzzy in the head, but we will march them back as quickly as we can to the village.
Yeah,
Um, and I get and along the way, I will explain to Zog and Barina, hey, look, we've made this promise, but we can't really keep it, can we? Right? I mean, that's ridiculous, moving a whole village. I think we're just going to have to tell, and I've got the note, her name somewhere here. We have to tell, no, I don't.
Keely or something.
Keelg, Keelg,
Kila,
Keela.
Kila der
Oh, yeah.
Liadin.
Yeah, that's right. We'll just have to tell Keela that we're going to have to prepare for trouble. You know, walls,
Ooh, sounds like a
whatever.
long-term contract. I like it.
Um,
Yeah. Uh, I think we can end this session here unless there's something you feel you need closure for.
It feels like a good stop point. Yeah.
Cool.
It feels like we just played through the prelude before a scary movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like a generation passes and people just start like disappearing and they're all,
Yeah.
why? Because we didn't move the village.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. Um, Yeah, we have a couple of more minutes, so let's talk about some things. Um, I want to focus mainly on like the moves and that sort of thing. I have a couple of comments on the scenario, but I'll save that for the end. Yeah, I think we can keep recording. This could be it could be interesting to for people watching or listening to hear our
Yeah,
thoughts
sounds
on
good.
this. Cool. Let's go around the horn. I guess this is kind of uh, stars and wishes or thorns and whatever for the game. I mean, I'm happy to take comments as well, and any stars you have for each other, obviously as well. I'll start with Rich.
I first of all, Andesh, thank you for taking out the children being stolen. I think that was a smart edit. It worked just fine the way it was. Appreciated that. Sorry I had to ask for like, what are we doing in the village question at the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
beginning. I felt like the kickoff was I was a little fuzzy on that.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I
I
agree.
wish, Mark, I wish we'd seen more Marina, have more Marina interacting with Zog and with Felix. I think you got a cool character. I don't know. It's like
I thought it was. I thought
it
I
was
did.
fun. No,
But
no, it's not really a critique of you. More of like I wanted to see more, is
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
trying to
yeah,
say.
yeah. Well, I
And
mean, no one can get enough of my
the
exceptional
tree
role.
stuff was a great choice. It was a great, really wild thing to throw into a one shot. I thought that was great, and I appreciate it. I'm sorry, I'm going to steal up all of it, but I'm almost done. Unless you like reincorporating it. Yeah, there's like the living trees here. Like that was a
That's
really good.
that's in the scenario.
That's freaking
There
amazing.
are sentient trees in the scenario.
So good. So good. But Tease Felix sneaking around, helping out, that was really, really fun. And the catkin interaction and you blowing it, great, great scene on both sides. It was a really fun, quick scene that gave us a taste of who
Mm,
Felix is and
mm.
isn't. Uh, and wow, I don't know if Zog has realized exactly how 100% full of crap Felix is, but it turns out like 100%. So that was an interesting thing to learn during the game. Like I had to start making decisions about Zog. Like, does he just ignore this? Does he know this and realize as long as it doesn't hurt him, he is fine? Does he know that Felix has employing a gig? Like, or is he ignorant of this and he's fooled all the time? And I had to make a choice about how Zog felt about that, which was interesting because we've worked together. So obviously he feels away or he's really blissfully unaware. So that was neat. Those were game wise, like all my stars and wishes. So no, fun little one shot.
Cool. Thank you. Mark.
Well, I will point out that this session was titled Dungeon World 2, according to the recording here. One shot question mark? Because I would love to play this again. So Undesh, keep me in mind down the road when you decide that you're going to run some a series or something.
Yeah,
If we can
absolutely.
get our schedules to match up.
Hmm.
I thought it was fun. Not having played Dungeon World 1, um, I thought that things went smoothly. I liked the consequences on everything. One of the things that somebody pointed out that I do like is that magic is cool, it's powerful, but even if you succeed, even if you get a 10 plus using magic, you still have to choose one of the consequences from the list, which is nice. And that's pretty cool. Obviously, Rich and Teast love playing with you guys. It was super fun to have a chance to play with you two as a player. So, Undish, thanks for that as well. But overall, it was fun, and I look forward to playing it again in the future at some point.
Cool. Thank you. Teased.
Yeah. Thank you, of course, Anders and everyone. Had lots of fun. Uh, and seriously asking the question of, am I the baddie? Um, it was supposed to be more just sort of like incredibly surface and selfish. Anyway, um, I quite liked the system. It felt like a nice little, nice little twist evolution on Dungeon World. I I thought it was compared to when we did Chasing Adventure, um uh I felt like the fight scene we had made more sense for some reason, as opposed to Chasing Adventure one didn't. Made more sense, and the way that I have to remember what they're all called now, of course, the defiances and conditions work.
Mhm.
It just made a bit more sense than the Chasing Adventure stuff. So I quite like that. The only thing that I really liked that for the rogue with the heat and stuff, those are some nice ways of encouraging you to be doing stuff that is not just, hack and slash or, engage a threat or whatever it is. But I did feel like, you know, with that engage a threat only being forceful, um, that feels like, as it like in one way it was good in that it forced me to like go and do other things because my forceful is at -1, right? I'm a cat. I'm
Mhm.
not big and strong. Um, so yeah, so that was interesting and good, but it also felt like, well, actually, I don't really want to get in a fight at all, but I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be a bit fightish, like not big fightish, but a bit. Um, so so that was one thing that I found
Mhm.
was a bit sort of, oh, I like that. But yeah, yeah, had lots of fun. It was interesting. Yeah, yeah, good.
I,
And
I'll I'll point out that one of the rogue advanced move is that you can engage a threat with if you when you engage a threat with advantage, you can roll plus sly instead of plus
mm,
forceful. So there is a way to do it, but it is, and I kind of like that it's conditional and not just straight up stat substitution. But it is an advanced move, so you can't have it from the get-go, and that's yeah. Um, it is there, but when you need to level up into it, that's also kind of annoying. But of course, you could have had a high forceful stat, but then that
yeah,
doesn't really match the other things. So yeah, I agree that it is a bit limiting that that engage a threat is only forceful, but I think they've defined forceful as sort of using violence and that sort of thing.
yeah.
So in that way, kind of matches. But yeah, I absolutely um, see that it becomes a bit limiting when you have a rogue type character who is yeah. Cool. If anyone needs to leave, and I'm thinking especially of Teast, who is up past midnight now, I believe, then please go if you need to. Um, my thoughts. I had super fun running the game. I felt a bit rusty at the beginning. I haven't GM'd in a bit, but it felt good once we got going. I like the way the moves are written. I think these are for me at least, these feel like really sharp moves. They are they work really well. They do what they're supposed to do, and I think they put the emphasis on the right things, and they feel like yeah, this is how this sort of move should work. For me at least. I think this scenario really did need a lot more space because there's a lot here. I've just like ignored huge parts of this because there just wasn't room for it. Or huge, I'm not sure if it's huge parts, but you could definitely. When I said in at the beginning that you could run this over a month, that's not an exaggeration because you can like if you want to actually take on Spins the Shadow, then you need to like undermine her power because she's like invulnerable to things that aren't ancient. And that's kind of, yeah, you try to go at her with an axe, and she's just going to ignore it because you need to deal with that somehow. And there's a bunch of things like that. But we got to see like the key parts of the scenario. I kind of like that there's an emotional thing at the core of it, but that also means that it's I'm not sure if you felt that the final scene, if that was tense and interesting, or if it was kind of anticlimactic, that it was just, oh, we're just talking about it and then we're done. I'm not sure how that felt to you guys.
I'm glad we talked about it. I didn't necessarily see the opening for it. Like, the setup felt very, and now here's the big bad with the
Yeah.
hostages and the thing. So I'm glad that we pursued it. I like Zog was okay, great. I guess maybe I shouldn't have said I was in love with her because now my character's got to kill her. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm glad where it went. I thought it was interesting, especially Teast's like seriously out of left field. Let's just move the village. And also I'm lying. Like, wow, what a it was great. That was very thiefy. But knowing it was coming from a module, I thought, oh crap, I'm making Undesh go off book. But it's Undesh. He'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't mind. And this was I like there are no like written solutions. This is how you do it. And this is the kind of scenario that I like when they give you a situation, here's what things are, and then you just have to figure out what happens. And I love that sort of thing. So for me, this was fine. I think the like moving the village, I think that was a brilliant solution because that would kind of solve the problem as I had set it up. And then lying about it makes things well. It's interesting for the future of that village. Um,
In Dungeon World 3.
Oh yeah.
yeah, and I would love to run this more. Um, in some at some point, if we can, like Mark said, if we can make our schedules align, I would happily run this some more. Maybe wait for the next update, so there's a bit more to it, but that I don't think that's necessary. For me, this feels like a this is a
Hmm.
great Ashcan. They have 5 classes, which is, or 5 playbooks, which is absolutely enough to play, and they feel very, very complete, and all of that. I don't feel like there's anything obvious missing, like, oh, we would definitely need this, or that here's something that doesn't work. It feels very, um, very well tested. What's there?
Especially for an alpha. Yeah, it seems like,
Yeah, yeah.
it seems like they're farther along than.
I kind of would.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so again, this is like not fair. Because I'm sure they want to evolve past it. But when I think of Dungeon World, I think of D&D,
Mhm.
and I think of a more fulsome combat optional experience. And to have
Yeah.
mixed together shooting stuff and wailing on stuff and defending stuff, it just feels like, okay, but it's like one super move and it just doesn't feel as
Hmm.
good to me. That's the one critique I had of like I'm playing a fighter and I got one move. And yeah, I get to use forceful and that rocks. But also like it just didn't feel like I had tactical options. It was a lot more about
Hmm.
bearing souls and like okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sure. I get it. I get it. We're all indie gamers and we want to talk about our fifis, but like, if you're gonna run D&D modules with this, I don't know if this is up for it. I don't think this has the chops to run D&D modules with. But Dungeon World, for damn spiffy you can run, that's all I did.
Yeah,
106
yeah,
sessions and almost all of it Dungeons and Dragons modules. So that was the one thing where I'm like, this is fun, but this necessitates an entire genre of modules, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Where every
I
monster needs to talk to you about how someone hurt them or kicked their puppy so you don't have to fight it. Like I'm being a little
yeah,
glib,
yeah, yeah.
No,
but
no.
but it's not wrong. Like D&D has a certain vibe, and this game does not want that vibe, and I get
No.
it. I play those games most of the time, but if you tell me I'm playing Dungeon World, I come in with certain expectations, and I
Hmm.
don't think Dungeon World 2 aims to fulfill those expectations, which is
No.
perfectly okay. But you're gonna piss some people off. That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
That was the only critique I had was this was fun. I'm glad Undash was running it. If a person who mostly runs D&D ran this game, they would be lost,
Oof.
I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. If you're, yeah, yes. Yeah, it's no longer that sort of gateway drug, right?
Yeah, yeah. And if that's I mean, it doesn't have the six stats. I get it. It feels like it's a
Hmm.
conscious choice to make this not the thing that made Dungeon World incredible, which was that it was a gateway drug for getting folks over who were curious about indie games but didn't want to have sex moves, you know? I, I had to explain that to my son because I'm like, I'm going to run the first PBTA game for you and your friends. And just so you know, my son, there are sex moves. And he's like, what is a sex move, Dad? And I said, all right, this is the closest talk that we've had about this kind of thing. And I guess we're going to do it via games. But sorry, back to Dungeon World 2.
Yeah, yeah,
That's the only knock I had was like, I look at this thing and I'm like, this doesn't fit in the
yeah,
thing before it how it fit.
yeah. What
Yeah.
I would
I
say, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I was just I'm going to 100% agree with you with that. And I think chasing adventure, which of course is one of the authors of that is involved in Dungeon World
Right.
too, is and you know, you're right, they're not trying to do that. And I think for me the big giveaway of that, the other big giveaway is the conditions thing, as opposed to having hit points.
Hmm.
And I really like the conditions here. I think it works. I didn't when we played it before, as I said before, Mark. I didn't. It didn't hit home that well for me when we tried it with Chasing Adventure. Um, but I think as soon as you're doing conditions instead of hit points, you're almost immediately going feel feels, right? Rather than
Yes, it's true.
oh, tank, come and hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they're not aiming for the people who play D&D. I think they're aiming for the people who watch streamers play D&D because this matches much better with that play style than it does with actual D&D, but the way D&D has traditionally been played. Because the streamers don't usually, for the most part, they're not engaging in tactical combat in order to do tactical combat. They're doing tactical when they're doing tactical combat, which they're not always doing. They're doing it in order to do like cool character stuff, and there's a lot of yes anding from the GM
Hmm.
about stuff that is absolutely not according to the rules of D&D. And I think
Mm,
they're aiming to do that play style in a game that people can actually play without having to like throw out half of the rules or three-quarters of the rules or 90% of the rules, which you would have to do, which you have to do with D&D in order to play it like the streamers play it. Um, but yeah, and I definitely see your point about engage a threat being like, yeah, this is the combat move, and that's kind of anemic if you want something, if you want combat to be a big thing in the game, which you would definitely want if this is supposed to be a D&D style game, then
Hmm.
combat needs to be one of the pillars. And here you have a lot of interpersonal stuff, and you have a fair bit of exploration if you include like the sense motive and that sort of thing in like investigation and that sort of thing. But the combat stuff is pretty much one move, and that is like that's a serious imbalance if you want those three to be fairly equal.
and actually, it's also only really one attribute,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that
We've
too,
got
that
five
too.
attributes there,
Yeah, yeah,
and three of them are three of them are like the mental stats or whatever. And then there's forceful, and then sly, which isn't really a fighting one
yeah.
either, right?
Yeah,
That's very
yeah,
yeah,
and
and that fits with your hypothesis absolutely, Anders.
Yeah, and several of the moves have different options for different stats. Not all of the stats, but you have like, yeah, you do it this way or this way
Mm,
or this way, and I like that. But
mm.
again, like the combat move is, yeah, you're rolling forceful, and that's how this works. And I'm not sure if that is how you would want things to be because, yeah. Anyway, it's late here as well, and I should go to bed. But it was really fun. I'm really glad we got the chance to do this. And like I said, I would happily run or play this more in the future. So we'll try to make that happen.
Right. Thanks,
Hooray!
everyone. Good night.
Thank you
Thank you
so
all.
much.